What's going on, everyone? Dwayne here from NorCal Nerf Club. Real excited today to say that we get to take a good look at the brand new Roundhouse XX 1500. This is one I've actually been excited about since we've seen the first leaked photos of this. I thought it was very interesting. That a pistol that holds 15 rounds. Very nice. I like that. So taking a real quick look at the box here, advertising 90 feet per second velocity. We'll be testing that out here in just a minute. There's a rotating chamber in it. That's very interesting. The loading mechanism in this I thought was very interesting. Of course, allowing us to have the 15 rounds there. But there we go. Just your basics on the back. Got a couple pictures of some other of the blasters, the Percy's, and of course we got the takedown up here in the Charger and the knockout. So I definitely do like the looks of this blaster. This is going to be an interesting one to play around with. So let's get it out of the box, though. Enough talking about the box. Let's get this thing out of there. Should be pretty easy to do. Comes with 15 rounds. Holds 15 rounds. Comes with 15 rounds. Set of instructions we'll set over there. Kind of doubt we'll need them. Let's get the packaging all out of here, and then we can go ahead and start cutting these little plastic ties here. I knew Hasbro was saying that they were going to start minimalizing some of their packaging, and they have done that a little bit, not too much extra there. One more little strand underneath here, and it is out of there. Okay. Wonderful looking blaster, though. I do like that. I like the feel of this. I was looking forward to this grip because I have bigger hands, and that is nice. That fits my hands perfectly. I love how this fits between, where your middle finger goes and your ring finger right there. That's pretty sweet. It is a pretty big blaster and not terribly too heavy or anything, but hold on, I wanted to compare this to the size of a Chronos. Taking a look at the size comparison between the Roundhouse and the Chronos, as you can see, lengthwise really, not too much bigger than the Chronos, a couple inches maybe, longer than the Chronos, but quite a bit chunkier. Much thicker profile. I don't know that I can get that into a holster, into my holster anyways. It goes for the Chronos. We're going to try that out a little bit later. I might be able to do that. I'm kind of worried about something happening up here, pulling those in and out of a holster. Not too sure about it. But yeah, like I said, just wanted to take a real quick look so you can see in size comparison between this and a Chronos. Yeah, interesting. Taking a look up here at the top of the blaster, got a couple of fixed iron sights there. Looks kind of decent for that. Got, of course, a tactical rail running all the way down it. I don't think you can get a Greenhouse grip onto this. That might help with a bigger spring load in it. But let's kind of see here. So that's not too bad. That's really chunky grip. One of my buddies was saying that they didn't think that you would really need like a Greenhouse grip on this, and I tend to agree. A good area right here where it indents to be able to grip on, as well as the top of it, and right here dig your in the heel of your hand right into there. So yeah, I don't think so. It kind of solves those problems. The problem why you needed a Greenhouse grip on the Chronos was just it was just plain slippery, and this. And smaller, skinnier. So then this has got quite a bit of chunk to it. You can get a hold of that. So yeah, probably wouldn't even need it. We're gonna put a bit bigger spring into this eventually. So yeah, taking a look at that, and then I'm gonna take a look at the loading mechanism up front here. This is really interesting because it has 5 chambers there, each holding 3 rounds. So let's go ahead and get them all out here. Let's go ahead and fill up the rounds. Told how the third one is does fit. You should have that closed. We'll go ahead and close that. And we get 3 rounds into each one. Yeah, that third one does kind of fit kind of snugly into there. It's kind of a little bit difficult to get the third one, cram it down in there. But then see, they're not going anywhere either. That's a real nice feature. If you're running around and on the fly trying to put these things in and that's open, yeah. You're always going to want to or worry about them falling out, and that's not going to be the case with this. That's real nice. That is really cool. Okay, so we should be ready to prime this blaster. Let's go ahead. That is pretty nice. I like that. Just really slides back very smoothly, and I do like being able to get a hold of that priming grip very nicely. Okay, push that forward and get the chronograph out of here. Let's do about 10 shots. Got a 94.4 for the first shot. Let's take 10 of them. 92.4. 94.1. 93.1. All over 90 so far. 94.4. Likes that 94. Like I said, advertised on the package at 90. We're getting well above that. 92.8. 90.8. 94.1. 95.4. And let's take just one more shot, making an even 10. 94.7. It really like that 94 range, doesn't it? Okay, well, let's check our numbers here. Of course, we had that max of 95.4, minimum of 90.8, and an average of 93.6. So yeah, pretty good right there. All of them above 90 feet per second as advertised there on the package. So yeah, that's decent stock, good numbers on this. Going to the rest of the blaster, of course, you got the old trigger locks over here on both sides, ambidextrous. That helps a lot of people. And I like the way they place those too, because you can just real quick flip that and use the weight of the blaster and just flip that right back up. Real nice hand grip, big and thick, heavy. I like that. It looks good, makes the blaster look really great. But yeah, this is looking out to be a good blaster. I'm liking this one. I like the way that it feels. Like I said, it feels really nice in my hands. I have bigger hands. This would probably be more for a bigger player. Seeing how it is, it's a little bit heavier, more heavier than a Chrono, so you're going to be handling this a lot one-handed. So yeah, I would say more recommended towards a bigger player, being able to solidly aim this and everything. But I see some screw holes there, and they're screaming for me to get a screwdriver out and to get this blaster apart and see how we can improve it. Just there you have it. There are the internals of the Roundhouse, minus the little part of the catch and trigger mechanism that's still in here. This little plate right here, as well as the priming indicator, are still inside the priming group because they kind of just line up in there. So we'll get to those here in a little bit and put those back in after we get to the spring, which is really pretty easy to get to. I was fortunate enough to sit in on Wacom's stream last Saturday night, and he was taking apart a Roundhouse, and he put a Pro RX spring in it. And that worked out nicely. I think it got like an average about 135, but it was very hard to prime, he said. And I could tell it was too. But let's go ahead and, before we get to the spring here, let's go ahead and take out our plunger mechanism and the tube, which is really quite different, as you can see here. A lot of people guessing, oh, that's going to be just another Chronos. No, I say there's similarities. Like I say, I can totally disagree, but no, this is not a Chronos on the inside. It's not. Pretty different. See, there's no priming rod here. You don't see that. Okay, it's just this is the whole priming mechanism right there. That's the tube. That's the plunger head, which we're going to be padding up here pretty soon. And these are lubed up pretty good. It actually looks like they use like Pel gun oil or something on there. So I'm going to have to clean out that before we go and pad that all up and everything. But in fact, let's do that. I'm going to go get something to clean this all up and pad the plunger head. I also think I'm going to put some Teflon tape underneath the ring right there. So I'm going to go and do that, and we'll be right back. So there we go. I have padded the plunger head, got that really nicely padded in there. Used two of the pads that I usually use, the adhesive foam gripper pads from Dollar General right there. There you go. Everybody asks about them, so I always have to say it. But yeah, I was able to get two of those in there, so that's going to be really nicely padded. Going to make really good use of the air. I also was able to get two wraps around of Teflon tape around there underneath the ring. So that's going to help a little bit. Yeah, it's still rather free, but I think it's gonna work out nicely. But getting to the spring, let's get to that. This is the stock spring that was in there, and that's not bad. Big long spring, not at all. That's a good healthy spring there. But what I did was went and cut 12 coils of K25 to put in this. Okay, that's the same length as the stock spring, and it's 12 whopping coils of K25 going in this. I say that because that's 3 more than what I would put in for a Chronos, okay? So that's gonna be really good. We're gonna see how easy this is gonna be to prime and what kind of power we're gonna get here in a minute. But I wanna take another look over here. See how, I chose not to put K26 in this just for the very reason that, oh, I'm gonna mess up my Teflon tape here. Just for the reason that it doesn't, see, K26, you would have to do a little bit of cutting. In fact, in Wacom, he cut his, you know, right here, just took and cut the edges off there so he could fit the K26 on there. I wanted to keep it a little bit more proper, okay, because K25 just fits in this so nicely. And like I said, I mean, I'm getting 12 coils of K25 in there. That's going to be real good. It's going to be real good for this. But you see how simple it was to get to the, you know, to get to the plunger rod and the plunger head and get the spring on there. Getting to the spring, this is nothing on this blaster. It is not a Chronos, but it's almost as simple, really. All right, now before I put the spring in here, I've got to get this little plate that's part of our trigger and catch mechanism to go back into where it needs to be. Well, keeping the trigger into place. Okay, does that need to go any further? No. Okay, that's good right there. Okay, now I believe we can get the spring in there. We should be able to do that. I need to pop that, get that back up in its little spring rest place. That does not stay on there very easily, so you got to kind of really hold it on there. And then this head, you know, this blaster had quite a bit of pre-compression on it with the stock spring, and I've got to get it to compress this. Remember, it's just 12 coils of K25, but this is quite a bit beefier than what the stock spring is. So I need to get that to compress a good little bit. Now I like that. I like having that bit of compression on there. I need to get that to fit back into place, into there. There we go. Now I need to get that, make sure that's, you see the little pins down there, those need to line up and go into that little slot in the, there we go, on the side, there, just waiting for that little pop to go in, and then this should be where it needs to be. Everybody's good there. And then, get this, fit all the way up in to the back of the plunger tube and everything there, and keep that part in place. And then I got to mount it onto, right, mount it onto there, get it back into place, and get the trigger back in place now again. There we go. Everything looks like snapping back into place. I did have quite a bit of this bowing up. I noticed even on the stock spring, under that pre-compression a lot of times causes that. Then once you get the body back together and everything, you're all right. It's going to hold it. But I feel like this would be a good time to put the screw in the back of the priming grip here, because there is one screw on the back of this blaster on the right side, and I would really rather not have the trigger. Well, we'll get to that in a second. It'll go right back in. Let's go ahead and get this this screw back in here. Now, all the screws are basically about the same size, most of them. These two that are a little longer and got kind of finer threads, is that the one? No, that one. These two go into the bottom part here of the priming grip. One on this side and one on the other side. So there's actually, I'm gonna try to hold everything together while I get that screwed down, and then that should be all holding itself then after this. Like I was saying, there's basically like 3 different size screws just in the grip alone. Then the rest of the screws are all the same size. See, that's holding it together much nicer now. And I think everything looks to be good and lined up as far as that, let's get our trigger spring, or trigger and spring back into where they need to go. Always make sure your trigger spring's all the way in. There we go. That's the point where we're getting to the catch. Okay, and that's staying in place pretty much. So the spring's in there. We've got 12 coils of K25 in there. I don't know if it's going to prime yet. Because this is one of the ones you can't really, pre-prime it or pre-compress it, compress it and get it to catch all the way in there, because part of the catch mechanism is back here. So everything's lined up. Everything looks good. And I am going to go ahead and get this all screwed back together. And we'll see what kind of results we're getting here in just a moment. Well, there we have it. The roundhouse is finally all put back together. I got some good news and I got some bad news on it. The good news is it catches and fires. The bad news is I had to take off 2 coils off of that K25 to get it to do that. 12 coils was just too much for it. Like I said, now that's the same length as the stock spring. It was just really, really hard to prime that back and to get it to catch. That was the difficult thing about it. So I ended up having to take off two coils out of it. Got us to a total of 10 coils, which is real good. Like I said, it's still one more coil than you would put into a Chrono's pistol. It'll get you up good, up to a 125, 130 average right there with that. So, yeah. I'm not so much hoping for that on this one. I don't think we're going to get as high as those numbers into 125, 130 with this one. The other kind of bad news is this video actually took 2. See, I've got another one. It actually took 2 roundhouses to make this. Okay, I don't know if you saw Coop's video, but he was having some defective problems. He had 3 roundhouses rather, and 2 of them had defective problems on it. And I know the problem that he's talking about because it happened on the second one of these. The first one of these, I'm not going to go into the story. I lost the catch on it. It's up here in the ceiling in a fluorescent light. Don't ask. It sailed way up and it never came back down until I got a ladder. I went to go get it out of there. I'm just going to have to stay up there. But I did buy another roundhouse so that I could work on and finish this video. So it's taken a lot of work and a lot of time to make this video. If you got a second or so, I would really much appreciate it if you get on there and give me a thumbs up on this one. Let's see the results that we did get though. Now I have loaded this one up. I've got some regular Nerf Rival rounds in there. I've got some Proton rounds in there. I've got Adventure Force Tactical Strike rounds in there, and I've got Chaos rounds in here. So let's see what kind of difference that we're going to get, what kind of results we're going to get out of this. See, this is the problem here. This is what Coop was talking about. It wasn't wanting to. See, it wasn't wanting to totally click into place there. Sometimes that happens. Now I'm able to close it, okay? That's a problem with me on this blaster. I'm going to be taking off some points on this blaster on how much I actually like it and can recommend it, and it's going down quick, I'm telling you, because of that problem. I am all about reliability and performance on blasters, and I don't know, we'll see here. That was a regular Rival round. We got 113.8 on it. So not bad. I mean, we started off with this, high 80s, low 90s, mid 80s, so none of the most powerful blaster. In fact, I can't quite remember because the second one I got testing it stock, I only got an 85 feet per second average on it, which I've seen in other videos where people got lower ones. And I got a little bit higher on the first one. We got a little bit better numbers on, didn't we? So anyways. Let's try this again. Now I want to see if this is going to prime properly. Okay, it did that time. It's a little clunky there. On the back of the prime, when I get right down to the end of it, it's a little stiff to do, but I want to get this good and squared on there. That's a 115.7. Not too bad. Okay, now we've got an orange Proton round coming up here. Let's see how well this did. Now, Proton rounds tend to fly a little faster, so we'll see. I got it now, 115.7, same as the last one. Next one's gonna be an Adventure Force tactical strike round. See how this goes. $114.1. Okay. Oh, I didn't check to see which that was. Can't tell. Looks like it might be a regular, normal rival round probably in this one. 112.5. This is definitely a rival round coming up there. See, I haven't had that hiccup right there that I had. Sometimes you'll prime this back and everything feels fine. You go to take it forward and it doesn't want to go forward. It's because the cylinder is just off just a little bit. That's a problem to me. Okay, 114.4. Staying nice and consistent there. Okay, another, once again, normal rival round. 114.1, talk about consistent. Okay, tactical strike round up next. 117, another tactical strike round coming up. 115.4. Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and do all 15 of them. 119, that's pretty good. Proton round coming up, orange proton round. 119 again, blue proton round. 123. See, those tend to go a little bit faster sometimes. So yeah, 123 on that one. That's our 12th shot. 119 again. We got a 112.8. And our last shot here, see what we can get, make it a good one. And a 113.8. So, I mean, those numbers weren't too bad. Once again, considering where we started off stock, that isn't too awful bad. I was expecting it to be a little bit higher than that, but see, now we got that max of 123. That's pretty good. A minimum was only 112.5 and an average of 115.9. So basically 116. So that's pretty good. That's pretty nice. I actually like it. I like the numbers. I like the loading mechanism. I like, the idea of it. I don't like that when when it causes that little problem and this doesn't rotate. If you have one of these and you ever do that, you ever prime it and you go back and it only wants to stop halfway and it won't go back any further either. Just go up here and kind of align that. Move it clockwise. And most likely, it's just the round is just off there a little bit and needs to line up there. But that's bad. No blaster should ever do that. And like I said, Coop had 2 of them that did that. No blaster should ever do it. He didn't force his and says he broke them, but you shouldn't have to do that. Don't go slamming it on it to make it forward. Don't force it forward. You just kind of adjust it in there to let that round drop back in there. And then it should be fine. But other than that, I like the blaster. It's heavy. It's a good, I guess, a primary pistol would be good. I can't even really recommend it so much as a pistol thing because I'm planning on playing this weekend, and if I play with this one, I'm not going to use it in the pistol rounds. I would feel like I'm cheating. All our pistol rounds, everybody's got, anywhere from 5 to maybe 7, rounds on in their blaster, so I would feel like I'm cheating if I got twice as many rounds as everybody else has, just because it is a pistol, but it's not what I would call your actual, pistol that you would use in pistol rounds. And like I said, if I used it in normal pistol rounds, I'd feel like I was cheating somebody, I want blasters. I got my good pistol blasters that, that have between 5 and 7 rounds in them that they're just fine, that are really good. And this one just isn't it. It just isn't it. And it can't be holstered. So, I mean, if you're going to use it like as a primary, yeah, you're fine. You got 15 rounds there. Easy to top off. That's the good thing. You can easily get in there and top off on these rounds. Real simple. Sliding that back and forth is real easy. Just I didn't like the loading mechanism when it messes up. That's really bad. I'm always looking for consistency out of blasters, and man, when it's doing little hiccups and things like that, I just don't like it. And like I said, I mean, Coop had 2 of them stock that were doing that. I had one. I'm trying to put together one good blaster here that actually works and has some decent numbers on it. But there we go. You know, it's looking pretty good. It's an all right blaster. Up to you if you want to buy it. It's only $25. Upgrading it, you see the results about what you're going to get. Nothing real great, but not bad. That's pretty decent. So, you know, like I said, I enjoyed making this video for you. It was kind of an interesting journey. If you do got that second to go down there and hit me a thumbs up on this one, sure would appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next video.